What is going on, guys? Boostcomp here, and today I have a lot of cool stuff about Advanced Warfare to show you guys. And I will talk about today is really the score streaks that we have so far and the Pick 13 system. Now, I will go over the perks and other stuff like that in a later video this week, so stay tuned for that. But there's only so much I can put in one video without making it too long. So anyway, in this screenshot right here, you can see is the Pick 13 system. Now, it's basically like the Black Ops 2 system, the Pick 10 system, except obviously there's 13 items instead of 10. Now, if you guys are not familiar with the Black Ops 2 system, is you basically each item, including the perks, like the perks, the abilities, grenades, attachments for weapons themselves, and the score streaks, it's all worth like 1 point into this system, and you have 13 items that you can pick. So that is pretty interesting. Now, as you can see at the bottom, wildcards will be returning. We have Primary Gunfighter on the screen here, which gives you a third attachment, and we have Perk 1 Greed, which allows you to use two Perk 1, perks. So that is pretty interesting, and I'm happy that they're upping the system to 13 instead of 10, because there's always something left out in Black Ops 2 that you really want to use, but you just can't afford it. So that's pretty cool. Now, moving on to the score streaks. Here in this screenshot right here, we have 7 score streaks so far, and Sledgehammer Games has confirmed that more score streaks will come as the game has launched. But the cool thing about these score streaks is that you can have attachments for the score streaks, which kind of change how they play or how you can use them. Now, these attachments will cost more. Like, for example, the UAV is 400. If you add an attachment, the UAV will now cost like 600 or 700 points or something like that. But anyway, I'm going to go through all of the attachments here and kind of tell you guys what they're about. Now, first for the UAV, we have extra assist points, which grants the user additional points for every active kill. And next we have threat detection, which shows all enemies for 10 seconds following activation. So that is pretty interesting. That'll really help your team out. Finally, we have support, which is points earned towards this streak retained through death. So anyway, moving on, we have the orbital care package, which first we have double tap, which allows the double tap to change the package contents, which is always great. It's basically a second chance on the care package. Next, we have better odds, which increases the chance of getting better items, which in my opinion is a must for this, because with the care package you always get something so low like a UAV or a very low point score streak. So anyway, finally for the orbital care package, we have support, which is points earned towards the streak retained through death, kind of like the UAV, but that is an extra 600 points, pretty expensive right there. Anyway, moving on, we have the remote turret. Now, there's 4 attachments possible for this instead of 3. First, we have the rocket turret, which it fires rockets instead of having a remote turret or directed energy. Now, directed energy is another attachment. It fires a controller laser. It replaces the machine gun or the rocket turret as well. Next, we have rippable, which adds the ability to rip off the turret head and carry it on the battlefield. So it'll kind of end up being like a death machine or minigun or whatever when you use this. And then finally, we have sentry, which has the turret. It will be a sentry when not remote controlled. So you can make this remote turret like a lot of different things, which is pretty interesting. Next, we have the XS1 Vulcan, which has, first of all, we have overcharge, which increases the beam width. And as you could probably guess by now, excuse me, in the trailer, there was that one part where they're using the XS1 Vulcan at the beginning, and I just assumed that that laser beam fire, whatever you want to call it, was what it was, what you use in it, and I guess that's correct. Anyway, overcharge increases the beam width. That's 100 points. Next, we have a light show, which adds 3 rotating lasers. So that is pretty powerful itself. 3 for the price of 1. It's only 200 more points, so that's pretty good. And then next, we have extra burst. And I'm not really sure what that's saying. Maybe it's an extra burst of the laser beams, but that is only 300 more points. And, it seems pretty powerful if it's an extra burst of the laser beams. So anyway, moving on, we have Warbird. Now, first, we have rockets, which adds rockets as an alternate weapon. We have Aggressor, which is an AI-controlled warbird. It seeks out enemy targets. And then finally, we have the Warbird Wingman, which joining player mounts additional machine gun turret. Next, we have the XS1 Goliath. Now, this is basically like a Juggernaut. Now, the attachments for this are Recon, which the suit has XO ping. trophy, which is a mobile trophy system on the suit, and then homing rockets, which rocket pack on shoulder that can shoot multiple missiles on a locked target. So obviously that's going to be the most powerful. It's only 100 more points, but overall it's basically a juggernaut, and it can be pretty stupid. It could have a lot of power. It could last for a long time with the trophy system, obviously, as grenades can't blow it up. So um, it's kind of difficult to kill a Juggernaut with only gunfire, as you probably know by now. But anyway, finally, the last score streak we have so far is the Paladin. It might be Paladin. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I'm going with Paladin. Attachments for this is a laser guided rocket, which adds a turret that fires laser guided rockets. It has a 105 millimeter cannon, which obviously it adds a 105 millimeter turret, and then a wingman, which joining player mounts additional machine gun turret, kind of like the Warbird. Now that's basically it, you guys. Now, before I finish that, the Paladin, it's basically like I think it's gonna be somewhat like a warship, like a VTOL warship attack chopper type thing, Harrier strike. I'm not quite sure, but as you can see in the trailer, it was kind of just hovering above ground, so it might be some sort of Harrier jet type score streak. I'm not sure, but that is basically it, you guys. A bunch of attachments on these score streaks makes it go from 7 to more like about like what 22 score streaks or so. So that's pretty interesting, you guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a like, and you kind of favorite this video, subscribe, put your input down below in the comments. Feedback is always great. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for future episodes, and I'll see you guys later.